right.
You can't escape.
Hey, Barton, we know you got a lot going on.
Sorry about the dog. It's just...
You've already had questions. We'll read them off to you, and we'll get these.
I didn't actually read them because I'm good without reading them. You know, I kind of rather not know.
Good. All right. Okay. Let's do this. You want to start off?
Yeah. So question number one, what was your impression of yourself in 1988 compared to today?
It's a great question. I think in 1988, I was most probably more self-consumed. I felt the world revolved around surfing and competitions, and I had a much more minuscule idea of what the world was and what the opportunities were in it. And I was very, very single-minded and singularly focused on competition and surfing. But at the same time, at the end of 88, beginning of 89, I was super grateful because I'd achieved my childhood dreams.
Yeah.
I'm getting rid of this dog, hey. Hold on. Hey, I can't do it, Mum. It's just impossible. I'm trying to do an interview and it's digging at the door. Get Lion to bring him in. Sorry, guys.
Oh, you're fine, man.
All right, second question. And, and I know you get to split your time, and half of it in Australia, half of it in Hawaii, which is kind of the best of both worlds. But we're going to ask this difficult question. If you had to pick one place, Australia or Hawaii?
Hawaii. Yeah. I mean, it's a conscious choice that we're here now. And I kind of, at the start of the COVID thing, and the writing was on the walls that for a few years you may not be doing anything, and who knows whether you may longer term be able to do anything or go anywhere. And it was like, if we're going to be one place for the rest of my days, where would it be? And it was here. We made that decision. And as a part of America, with the opportunity to go up there and be in that incredible mainland, which we went to Yosemite, went to Big Sur, and Tahoe this year, and it's a magnificent country, mate. So with the mainland down here, living in Hawaii, with the mainland as access and being domestic travel, I think it's a pretty good deal.
Yes,
awesome,
nice.
All right, third question, and I've tried both of these: Vegemite or Nutella?
Oh, Vegemite every day.
Really?
I'm not a Nutella fan, but I'm all about the Vegemite. I love Vegemite. We've got Promite, Marmite, and there's other types of Vegemite too, like Coca-Cola, Pepsi, whatever, Dr. Pepper. Yeah. But Vegemite is sort of hands. I like the Promite too, but the Vegemite's just got cultural strength as well as the taste. And put it on a piece of sourdough toast with a lot of butter, and then some Vegemite and avocado on top, and it's the best way to start a day.
Nice. All right, next one. Dream surf trip. Where would you go? And if you could bring two people, who would you bring?
Woo! Funny, as you get older too, you kind of, my mind went to my kids and taking my daughter and my son. And then I go, well, they're not going to want to go to somewhere, but I really think Tabarua, Fiji, being on that little island, restaurants out front, the waves for beginners on the high tide, cloud break across there and the other breaks around. Yeah. And I feel like in the last bunch of years, when I went and commentated that event, that's the most tubed I've been on a trip. You know what I mean? I was just getting barreled all over the place thinking, this is fantastic. Hawaii is amazing and there's barrels, but you don't see, it's not like Indo-barrelly or, it's kind of pipeline and there's always a lot of guys there and it's a hectic scene. I'm not really into that kind of surfing atmosphere these days. I've got nothing to prove, you know what I mean? And you're out there with, at the proving ground. So I would say Fiji. I'll go to Tabarua and take my kids.
Nice.
All right. Fifth question, and you kind of already touched on this: competing or coaching?
Yeah, it's a really good question, because can you coach if you haven't competed? And can you coach if you haven't experienced those things? Because so much of the coaching sphere is based in the surfing performance. But I look at surfing in two pillars. Pillar one is everything that happens before you get to your feet. And then as you finish that wave and lie back down on your board, you're back in pillar one. And pillar one is surfing. The gymnastic performance that happens on the wave, which I call pillar two, is completely secondary. And good surfing is about pillar one, about your relationship with the ocean, your ability to be in the right place at the right time and create that magic between yourself and that big, great unknown that's 70% of the Earth's surface, you know, and you're out there and sometimes you feel like you know it and it knows you and you've got a relationship and you know where to paddle and you paddle. I've found myself so deep in thought before and then I've realized that I'm paddling. And I've gone, paddling, that's interesting. I didn't do that. You know? And then I've looked up and I'm paddling to a set and I've had nothing to do with it. There's an inner intelligence in us that knows way more than the thinking mind gives it credits for. And this thing's so busy and noisy that you never get that instinctive, intuitive feelings. You never hear them because you're trying to be right and trying to figure stuff out. So I feel like you've just got to connect with those feelings and you can do that to be a good competitor and do well in competition. You've got to be a master at that and be able to do it in 25 minutes and turn it on and turn it off. Because the best surfer doesn't win. The person who gets the best waves win.